Kimchi is a traditionally fermented Korean side dish. It is generally made of Napa cabbage. You can make kimchi from Napa cabbage, scallions, radish, and cucumbers as main ingredient. Traditionally, kimchi was kept safe underground to keep it cool during the summer and to keep it unfrozen during the winter time. So let's get started. We're going to take our Napa cabbage and just peel the outer leaves. And then we're going to cut it into 4 pieces. Okay, so there you have your 1/4. You can actually cut a little V into it. Okay, now what I go in here at the bottom, you can just give it a little bit of a cut like that so that it's in small pieces. The idea with the kimchi and the cutting of the cabbage is that you want to keep it in biggish pieces so that it can fold in on itself, and it's not the same as your normal sauerkraut, because sauerkraut you cut into small pieces, but if you cut your cabbage, your Napa cabbage, into small pieces, then it's going to become too much of a pulp. So now I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of salt, and I'm going to massage it into the Napa cabbage. Now what it's basically doing here is it is drawing the liquid out of the cabbage . You can massage your cabbage like this. The idea is to get all the water out of it. That's what the salt is actually doing. And yes, now we're going to take the carrot. I'm going to cut the carrots into medallions like this. You can do this by hand, or you can use your food processor. If you like, you can use your julienne cutter. This isn't only adding color to your kimchi, but it also adds to health benefits. We're not going to add any starter cultures to this kimchi ferment, which makes it a wild ferment. So we are depending on the natural yeasts and bacteria that's in our food and also in the air. Only difference is when you make natural Napa cabbage for grown-ups, you are going to add more. So I'm just going to add a piece of ginger. Now this is what makes it so excellent for winter times, because this actually boosts your immune system, keeping you healthier. So I'm just going to cut it up into small pieces like this. You can use your grater. This adds in the flavor. I'm not using a huge chunk of ginger, and then I'm adding a clove of garlic. Garlic isn't only an excellent immune booster, but it's also an excellent prebiotic, which means that it's food for the probiotics. And that basically helps the probiotics to do their work a little bit better. So I'm going to add a pear and an apple. This will add to the taste and flavor of the kimchi. So you can cut some of it up and you can actually just grate some of it in. Now that's why people love fermented food so much, because it's so simple to make and it is very beneficial. So fermenting food isn't only for food preservation, but it's also to add flavor and goodness to any dish. Because of osmosis, the salt is drawing the juices out of the cabbage and the other fruits and vegetables that I've added. And that adds to the lovely brine. Now the idea is that you draw out as much liquid as you possibly can, and that is because you want your vegetables to be submerged underneath all the brine. Some people even add their salt and leave their cabbage or their vegetables overnight in the fridge, and that also helps with drawing the brine. When you're using salt, make sure that's a high quality salt. Himalayan sea salt is good. A local naturally sourced salt is also a very good choice. You can use any glass jar. Now this is a anaerobic ferment, which means it doesn't want any air. So you're going to close the lid and keep the air out. You can make use of an airlock system, but it's really not necessary. Now you don't want to fill your jar too much, because your cabbage does expand, and when that happens, it's going to boil over, and that you don't want to happen. So you're just going to make sure that everything is covered with brine, because this is kind of a little bit of a insurance that you're not going to get any mold. Okay, so you would want to wipe your jar a bit, boil over, that it just boil over on the sides. Some people even add rice to their kimchi recipe, so it all depends on where you come from and what family you form part of, because each and every family has got their own ways and methods of making kimchi. And that's what makes it so unique, because it's yours. I've enjoyed making kimchi with you. Thank you for watching. Go and try it out. Tell me what you think. Tell me your experiences. Leave your comments, ask your questions. If you have any, stay in touch. See you next time and enjoy.